What's going on, guys? It's John DeYoung here, and today I want to talk to you about the free online resources that I use frequently to research property statistics. These mainly come in two different formats. One is the raw statistics represented by graphs, and the second is in a report format that tells a story. Scrolling through realestate.com.au, domain.com.au, or the new kid on the block allhomes.com.au, while watching Netflix is not really considered property research. It's more market awareness and understanding the current stock on market. We have some really good publicly available data here in Australia. Majority of the top resources present this data in different formats that help us to do property research and provide us with analysis to make better informed decisions. For absolute transparency, I haven't been paid by any of these companies or websites. This is just my personal list of resources. In addition, this video is specifically dedicated to free resources only. There are plenty of incredible paid resources available, which I'll cover in another video. Many of the resources talked about in this video will overlap in the data presented. However, they are generally presented differently, and I've included them all so you can take your pick of your favorite. Firstly, let's go over the property statistics websites. These are in no particular order, but I will be biased with the first one as it's my personal favorite. SQMresearch.com.au is an investment research house that is specialized in providing accurate research and data to financial institutions, investment professionals, and investors. It is founded and run by one of the country's most recognized and respected property analysts, Lewis Christopher, whose objective is to have an honest approach to the real estate market, which is ingrained into the foundations of their platform. The freely available data is then broken down into postcodes or suburbs, and it includes sold records, stock on market, vacancy rates, asking sale price, asking rents, and implied gross rental yield. SQM also provides some demographics data, including postcode median age, occupant type, religion, weekly family income, annualized population change, median rents, percentage of mortgage repayments to total household income before tax, and the count of established properties. HomeID.com.au, in my opinion, is the best presented source of demographic data, and they currently provide in-depth information for more than 300 local government areas and suburbs in Australia and New Zealand. They break this demographics data down into 5 main areas: community profiles, which helps understand local communities; population forecasts to plan for the future demand; economic profiles that identify local economies; social atlases that map the community trends. Finally, the fifth and my favorite is the Housing Monitor, which helps us understand housing supply and demand, diversity, affordability, and availability. This section is very new and it only works in some council regions, but it will grow out over time. The Housing Monitor is broken up into 4 sections, covering population growth and households, housing and approvals, prices and incomes, and affordability and availability. These 5 overall Home ID areas are all unique and have their own strengths and weaknesses. However, I've found the second most useful of these to be the Social Atlas, which breaks down the census data on a map layout. If you're loving this content, make sure you smash that like button as it seriously helps out with the YouTube algorithm. Walkscore.com is used all over the world and is frequently talked about in the property sector. Essentially, it provides you with a score rating based on what can be accomplished on foot and provides a rank for the area within that region. Suburbtrends.com provides reports and interactive browser graphs on property statistics for a specific suburb. Their data is updated weekly and it includes recent sales and suburb level trends. Suburb pages and videos can then be generated using AI. And for those of you who want personalized branded videos to put on your own website or blog, they have a subscription service available that makes this achievable. The free section of dsrdata.com.au provides a demand to supply ratio score, which is just a number out of 100 that gauges the demand relative to supply for a specific residential property market. The higher the number, the more demand outweighs supply, and therefore they say that it's more likely that capital growth will occur. There's also a paid subscription fee service where DSR Data provides the actual data and in-depth analysis of how the DSR score is calculated. Microburbs.com.au is a fantastic resource that provides an overview of majority of the information necessary for deciding whether to buy a particular property, and it provides a broken down score for an area, which is then broken down further into 9 main categories. This includes property details, convenience, lifestyle, tranquility, family, investor, community, ethnicity, and affluence. Microburbs looks into the publicly available data to calculate these scores. Some of the things they look at is commute times, neighbourhood demographics, schools with NAPLAN ranks, locality maps, convenience stores, local ethnicity, nearby cafes and restaurants, nearby zoning, affluence and education maps, internet availability speeds, and the list just keeps going on. The department at infrastructure.gov.au is responsible for the design and implementation of the Australian Government's infrastructure, transport and regional development policies and programs. They report on any projects currently being worked on, and for those of you who are looking out for government spending, it's well worth reading some of their articles. There are plenty of planning authority websites available to search all of the properties being either knocked down or built in your area, but planningalerts.org.au brings them all together by searching as many planning authority websites as it can find and emailing you the details of applications near you. The Australian Bureau of Statistics, also known as the ABS, is Australia's national statistical agency, providing trusted official statistics on a wide range of economic, social, population and environmental matters of importance to Australia. The Australian Prudential Regulation, also known as APRA, is an independent authority that supervises institutions across banking, insurance and superannuation, and it's accountable to the Australian Parliament. Most importantly though, APRA oversees authorised deposit-taking institutions, such as banks, building societies and credit unions. This means that those ADI banks report their data to APRA, and then APRA slices it all together and presents it to the public in both a raw format and within graphs. Population.gov.au brings together all the population data from the ABS, the Treasury, and heaps of different departments, including Home Affairs, Education, Health and Wellbeing, Social Services, and Infrastructure. They then try and forecast the population growth from all of these departments, and annually track the actual data against the forecasts. Population predictions and forecasts have often been inaccurate and not aligned in the past. This has made it more difficult for the local and state governments to plan accordingly. With the implementation of the Centre for Population, hopefully these population projections become more accurate. TradingEconomics.com provides its users with accurate information for 196 countries, including historical data and forecasts for more than 20 million economic indicators, exchange rates, stock market indexes, government bond yields and commodity prices. And all of their data is based on official sources. On top of all these raw data sources, there's plenty of open data platforms and resources that report on local council activities, public transport, schools, and basically anything else that government agencies are willing to share publicly. This helps government agencies to share their data with other agencies, and ultimately helps the government to build better products and services for the community. Open data means that data will be technically available and reusable, although there will be appropriate open licensing in place to facilitate its use. There are 4 main reports that I like to review every time they come out. They present these raw statistics in a story format and help explain what these statistics actually mean and how they're impacting the current market. CoreLogic's monthly chart pack provides detailed housing and mortgage market statistics and analytics with key insights for understanding the housing market conditions at a very granular level. They are fantastic at explaining the story behind the data, and there's always a fresh and new insight to sink your teeth into. HTW's Month in Review identifies the latest movements and trends for the property markets across Australia. They provide a residential property clock for both houses and units, which is a real eye-opener for anyone buying or selling property. The RBA Monthly Chart Pack summarises macroeconomic and financial market trends in Australia, and provides some information about developments to our main trading partners. Even if you're not into economics, the household sector section is a great overview of the current state of the overall housing market. Oliver Hume's in-house research division is dedicated to providing resources to their clients, with unique market insights, forecasts and in-depth analysis of the Australian residential property market. Their quarterly report examines current and emerging trends in the new property market, focusing on Victoria and Queensland predominantly. I want to know what your favourite of all of these resources is, or any other free online resources you guys use when researching property statistics. Leave them down in the comment section below. Realaz.com is a fun little tool that provides you with an algorithm-driven property price prediction on approximately 90% of the properties currently listed for sale in Australia. On average, they predict within a 4.5% sale price. Although, if you followed me quite regularly, you'll know my opinion on fixating on algorithm-driven property indicators. Government spending, human emotions, economic activities, council planning and financial regulations all impact the thousands of submarkets in Australia. Any minor change in these impacts could throw out these algorithms altogether. So stick to what we know as investment grade property, and no matter what impacts the market, you'll always be holding a scarce asset. As always, seek your own financial, legal and investment property advice for your current situation. These videos are just my opinion and should never be considered as personal advice. If you're keen for more content, make sure you subscribe and smash that notification button so you don't miss a video. And until next time, happy house hunting.